Shadow is in Forest Falls looking for Eggman after receiving a distress call from the man begging for help. While he's there, he finds a silver hedgehog chasing the doctor, and due to a classic case of nobody wanting to explain themselves, they end up, you guessed it, racing each other to get to Eggman first. Thanks to his powers of slowing his opponents and a lot of ice and fire, Shadow makes it to Eggman first and asks if this silver guy is who he was calling about. Eggman, however, has no idea what Shadow is talking about and brings up a good point of why on earth would Eggman ask Shadow of all people for help. They're not exactly friends. The silver hedgehog is about to explain, but is cut off by Eggman, who just sends in the egg turtle after them. After dealing with Eggman, Shadow is about to just forget all this and go home, assuming he has a home, but suddenly gets another call, this time from his bat friend Rouge, claiming that she has uncovered something important about the doctor and that Shadow should keep following him. Before he can question this too much, Knuckles shows up looking for Eggman. Shadow takes this opportunity to mock him, leading to the both of them chasing the doctor through Colosseum Highway. As Shadow finds Eggman, he asks him what Rouge has learnt about him. Eggman, again, has no idea what Shadow is on about, and with Knuckles showing up and escalating things, Robotnik just decides to fight them both. That obviously doesn't work, and Shadow gets another call from Rouge, but it gets cut off before she can say anything important. Shadow then finds himself in the middle of a carnival with Sonic. As they race through the track, Shadow finds Eggman and wants answers from the man about where Rouge is, but Eggman just shows him a card he's holding. Shadow, having no idea about the camera at this point, has the whole people are trapped in cards thing explained to him, and races Metal Sonic to get Rouge back, which Eggman uses as a distraction to escape as Knuckles shows up again. Shadow chastises Knuckles for losing track of Eggman, as if Shadow didn't just do the exact same thing, and they run through the Crystal Mountain zones until Shadow confronts Eggman again. This time, Eggman shows another card with himself on it. But how is Eggman trapped in a card when he's right in front of us? Knuckles is also confused, but Eggman just decides to solve his problems with violence again. After dealing with that, Shadow finally has a moment to question what's even happening at this point, and decides the Silver Hedgehog is his best chance to get answers when he shows up, and demands answers from him. The Hedgehog tells him that the Eggman he's chasing around is probably a fake, leading Shadow to realize that the real Eggman was in the card. The fraud Eggman reappears, and Shadow and his silver counterpart compete to chase him down through the Death Yard zone. Shadow finds him, and Eggman reveals his true identity, Eggman Nigga, a descendant of Eggman from the far future. Now that Shadow knows the truth, Eggman Nigga sends Metal Sonic to deal with Shadow. It seems his plan is to change the future in some way he doesn't explain, before trying to take Shadow down again. This fails, and Eggman Nigga gets mad, goes to space, and the Silver Hedgehog shows up, and the real Eggman gets freed from the card, and wants some classic payback against his descendant, taking Shadow and Silver to space to get him. And after getting some help from his fellow Hedgehogs, don't ask me how Sonic got there, Shadow makes it through the Meteor Base Zone to Eggman Nigga's ship, and we learn why he wants to change the future so badly. Turns out that Eggman's reputation is so bad in the future that nobody takes his descendants seriously, which is to be expected when your arch enemy is a 3-foot-tall spiky smurf. This has seemingly ruined Eggman Nigga's life, so he has plans to rewrite history so his family won't be looked down on by destroying the world. I don't see how that works, but he's the time traveler here, so I'll assume he knows what he's doing. Not that it matters, since Shadow immediately destroys his ship and probably Nigga with it, as he saves Rouge from the card she was stuck in, with the story ending on Rouge trying to convince Shadow to look into their own future, with Shadow just going, "Nah,